kill anyone that's ever been like, maybe we shouldn't be mean to gay people because they're all radical transgender Antifa leftists who are doing unlimited violence, the white Christians or whatever, to then turn around and be like, oh no, he was one of our boys again. Oh well, pray for his soul. Pray for his lost soul. And then they turned around and they were like, he went to a Mormon university for one semester, and that's where he got hit with the fucking transgender woke ray, right? And then everyone was like, dog, he took one fucking semester and didn't even have any in-person classes, and then left to go work for to go to a technical school, right? Like, what are we talking about? This person's background is so perfectly like right-wing in the way that these guys have designed the world. So they just couldn't figure that out as well. But now they're saying it's actually a transgender roommate, that he was radicalized by a transgender. Like, it has to be a trans person, it seems, for these guys. Like, I don't know what will happen. I do know that because violence is such a permanent part of American politics, which I wrote about on the New York Times, by the way, we're going to be talking about that in a second. It's an inevitability that these things will continue to happen unless, in the absence of any sort of like serious legislation to stop, gun violence. It has happened every other week, and it will most likely, unfortunately, continue to happen. And I guess in the next phase here is going to be like, was the shooter ever around a trans person at all? Like, we have to look through the next school shooter. If they've even been in the direction, if they've even looked in the direction of a trans person, that's probably how they got radicalized. Like, that's where we're at now. Like, these people are trying to say like, oh, you were roommates with a trans person, I think, and therefore that's the reason why you did a mass shooting. Like, it's just so fucking insane. And what's extra messed up is that people are like, the media is dropping the ball in spectacular fashion. So I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just, everything is wrong. Everything is busted. Everyone is angry. I guess like the only thing I'm hoping for, and I said this like the first couple of days, is, maybe these guys will just focus on the burger aspect of things, and we'll just like get it out of their system by being like, we're going to cancel a bunch of people. We're going to cancel a bunch of people on the left that we are claiming is, responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk. And then they'll turn around and they won't engage in acts of violence or something like that. Hopefully. What is this viral tweet about you? I think I saw this. I saw this one, yeah. If, God forbid, a leftist like Hassan Parker were killed, a lot of centrist Dems wouldn't even publicly mourn him. The idea that any GOP governor would fly flags at half-mast for him like Dems, like Dem Govs or for Kirk, is beyond laughable. That's the imbalance we have in this country. Anyway, I mean, it's true. Grandma was upset that people call him left-wing. I know, I saw that too. Yeah, that was also crazy. His grandmother was more upset at the fact that they were calling him a leftist than at the fact that he had shot Charlie Kirk. Like, she was like, listen, shooting high-profile figures is something that I'm, not too fond of, but I can understand it. But do not say he did it because of radical transgender Antifa. We are a Republican family. That's what she said. It was crazy. Anyway, she probably doesn't know what the fuck's going on with the grandchild anyway. So, like, there's so much, like, secondary and secondhand, third hand, fourth hand, like, totally irrelevant information that people run with and then try to retract after the fact. Also, this person's tweet that went viral, this person sucks so much ass. Fuck this guy. I don't like Hassan Piker, but if he died tomorrow, Fox News would be celebrating Trump and post a shitty AI meme celebrating his death on Truth Social. This dumb fuck, literally, this Destiny dick riding piece of shit once famously said Donald Trump should deport Hassan because I don't like him. Like, so he's just farming, okay? Don't get it twisted. That motherfucker's just farming. Anyway, I don't like people invoking your name in this discourse, even if it's hypotheticals. I know. Wanted to blame trans people law. Wait, what is this? New York Times, after he murdered Charlie Kirk, the killer told his friends on Discord he heard the ammo had something about trans stuff on it. Robinson was watching the FBI try to pin it on the trans community instead of focusing on locating him. Wait, what? More obsessive. Wait, what the hell? Around the time, several news outlets reported ammunition found near a rifle at the scene included engravings referencing transgender ideology. The truth ultimately was that the engravings included the phrase, "Hey, fascist, catch," as well as lyrics from an anti-fascist Italian song and a reference to sexual meme about a bulge. But at the time, before the exact phrasing of the engravings was publicly known, the suspect sent messages that suggested he was closely following the news. I heard the ammo had some about trans stuff on it, but they aren't releasing the photos or exact quotes he wrote. He added, and also the claim wasn't backed by the official FBI, just some dude in a briefing room. A few minutes later, he joked, "I'm actually Charlie Kirk. Wanted to get out of politics, so I faked my death so I can live out my dream life in Kansas." Oh my God. Dude, we are living in such a weird time, man. In terms of like being extremely online, in terms of like Twitter and online becoming a part of real life, like this is one of those very strange moments, okay? I don't know why Discord was like saying this dude wasn't on our app. I don't know. He wasn't communicating on our app or whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on as well. The New York Times article has the full messages. They joked about avoiding McDonald's too because that's how Luigi got caught. Yeah. So I'll get started on one aspect of this story that I briefly talked about, but obviously I wasn't, like, when they first found the shooter, I wasn't live, right? When they first found the shooter, when they first apprehended the shooter, I wasn't live. But a lot of other people were covering it, and they were making up their minds on like what this ideological profile was. I think it was too soon to tell, but you know, my early assessment was looking at like the meme profile, which is a stupid thing to actually say out loud when talking about mass shooters. But God damn it, unfortunately, that is a thing that we have to do. Looking at the mimetic profile of the shooter and the things that the shooter wanted to communicate, I basically said, look, it's too soon to tell the ideological background, but it's like very obvious that he has like a right-wing family, Mormon family, all this stuff. You know, some family members are connected to the military. Early on, they thought his dad was like law enforcement. Then they found out that wasn't the case. That's whatever. But like, he clearly was a white kid from like a real ass American Utah family, right? And even Governor Cox had some statements about this. Even Governor Cox himself was like, "Oh, I was praying that he wasn't one of us. I hoped it was like some Muslim transgender guy from, you know, Idaho or whatever, or from not from this country." And it turns out he's one of us. And I saw that and I was like, that's a weird thing to say out loud, buddy. That's a weird thing to say out loud, but we are living in increasingly weird times, so I guess it's fine that you're just saying it, okay? Like, you know how people will always say, like, because of the unlimited violence that marginalized populations are subjected to, many of you have probably had that moment where you see like a mass shooting or something and you're like, oh my God, I hope the shooter isn't like trans or black or brown or undocumented or something like that, you know, because like, you know what is yet to come. Well, these guys are now doing the reverse of that, because they want to do more violence, it seems. So they're like, oh, every time there's a shooter, even though most of the time it's like a white dude, and this time it was a white dude as well, you know, I was praying it wasn't one of ours, you know? I was praying it wasn't one of ours. And it's like, it's not like it changes anything if it's a white guy who's a right-winger. They've done most of the shootings. And it seems like the right collectively have decided a lot of these guys are responsible for the shooting. So let's just fucking turn around and imagine that the shooter is a trans leftist every time, right? And it's crazy. It's crazy. Because, like, the impact is not the same. You know what I mean? There's not like there's no legislation to like ban young white boys who are a little quirked up on the internet when there's another young white boy who is a little too quirked up who does a fucking mass shooting. That's not a thing. But God forbid if anyone has like even been around a trans person, it seems they're like, oh, we have to literally arrest and prosecute and criminalize every trans person in the country. Now, I watched so much. I watched the Nancy Mace and the Republicans basically go from we have to kill everybody immediately. We have to give a tone that they wanted to strike. Okay. So, there was some edits, and, I okayed them. And then they got back. They got back and had more notes, but that was when I was driving. So I'm driving thinking, this thing is ready to go, ready to blast off. Turns out it's not. I'm in a state of panic trying to dictate what to trying to get the new editorial notes in, and then, make these decisions. All this stuff is happening in the background, whatever. We make it. I was able to flip between drivers and finish it off in time. Why no fit pics of you from the wedding? I don't know. Maybe because it's probably not the best thing to constantly post social media of myself, especially if I'm in an environment like in a public setting. Have you guys thought about maybe it's okay to be a little bit more careful? I don't know. Like, let me live, guys. What are we doing? Let me live. All right. In due time, you will get photos. Okay. Jesus Christ. Also, yeah, it's a private family event. So, are your viewers 12? No, they're not. They're 30 plus for the most part, but they behave like they're 12 sometimes. So, yeah, I didn't want to compromise Kaya's safety. She's still wearing the neck piece that she wore for the wedding. I put it around her neck again. So, anyway, I've actually been kind of checked out for good reason. I've been kind of checked out from everything that's going on, which has been good. I feel like no major events have taken place, right? In the past 48 hours, no major updates on an ongoing national story, one that has surprisingly international significance as well. No, certainly nothing crazy going on in one of the social media platforms that many people communicate on, like the owner of a platform personally trying to put a hit out on someone like myself, right? Like that can't be the case. That wouldn't be the case, right? Might as well start gaming early, yeah. So, all jokes aside, dude, the amount of threats I've seen is crazy. Please be careful. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those weird situations where if you just close your eyes to it, if you're not online, maybe you just don't see the death threats, right? That's how it goes. But in any case, I taught my cousins a valuable lesson. Ball is life. And taught them a valuable lesson about how ball is life, and that they shouldn't defy me. They should not, because one of my cousins is like 15 now, and he was talking big shit, right? He's like I would learn about like meme stuff from him, what's like what Zoomers and Gen Alpha is saying and stuff, and like he would be like, do you know this person? Do you know that person? Whatever. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then he's like, oh, we're gonna ball. All right. So he wanted the ball, and yeah, 6'7". But basically he was convinced he could like play decently against me, and I cooked him. I had to do it. I had to show the young blood, the next gen, was what, Unk Ball is alive and well. Okay. Unk Ball is alive and Unk Ball is well. Anyway, yeah, I cooked him. Cooked that 15-year-old, bro. That's it. That's how it is. Hold on. Free speech. Champions. Push cancel. Okay, that's fine. You have to humble the youth, yeah. And then, the wedding happened, obviously. And I'll just say it like this. I'm not going to give like too many details on it because I feel like the podcast, Fear and Podcast, is a better setting for it. But all I'm going to say is it was very Marat. It was very Marat. Marat has this tendency to engage in uncomfortable things that make him uncomfortable. That's like what he enjoys doing, right? Whether it be like camping, whether it be glamping, whether it be off-roading, stuff like that. Like things that normal people have kind of evolved beyond. Like, because normal people be like, oh, I don't want to be out and braving the elements, right? Like, I don't want to be in the desert, for example, at any given moment, especially when it's like 100 degrees weather. But Marat's like, I want to do that. And I would enjoy it even more if other people were also doing that and not even having a good time doing that. And that's actually a really good way for me to assess how much fun I'm having by making sure that other people are also engaging in this act of displeasure. So a typical Marat style situation, very hot. But overall, Caroline posted a fit pic. Let's see. Let's go. There it is. You guys wanted a fit pic? You got one. Do you have a cool undertone to your skin? You look great with these darker colors. What does that even mean? But the glasses are slang. Thank you. So yeah, we did the dang thing. We did the dang thing, and it was great. It was a lot of fun, a lot of emotions, all of that. You look like an NBA draft in the early 2000s. Okay, calm down. Did you write a speech or did you wing it? No, I wung it. I winged it. I'm Mr. Wing, Mr. Wang. Okay. But yeah. But that's it. That's all I got on the wedding. I woke up early this morning and I drove back and I got here. And the reason why I was actually late, because I was supposed to start even earlier. I was like going to start at like 10:30 or whatever. But the reason why I actually started late is because, of course, predictably, I got back and the internet was busted again. So I had to fix that. But hopefully it should be fine. But even if it's not, fuck it, we ball. Kyle looks spent. Yeah, she is. She had a very, very long weekend. You don't understand. The amount of people. I mean, she was the belle of the ball. When I say this, it's crazy. Like, people were going nutty mode, okay? They were losing their minds. Like, people would just go, ah! Like, she would just run around, walk around, and get pet by every single person. That was her situation. She was just like, I am, I'm here to be pet. Can you read your article of paywall and tech limits? I couldn't read it. What do you mean? You don't know how to remove paywall? This is how we do it every time, bro. What the hell? Yeah, this is Kaya's wedding fit, of course. She's wearing it right now, actually. She's still wearing it. But yeah. Absolute cutie pie. A lot has happened while you were gone. My condolences. What are on having to catch up on it? No, it's fine. It's not. News. The news keeps happening, and we keep covering the news. It is what it is. Was Fiona also at the wedding? Yes, she was also the other belle of the ball. But in any case, we got a lot going on, obviously. There's so much to cover. There's so much to talk about. Governor Cox makes announcements on Kirk shooter background as the right tried to put the blame back on trans people. Oh, you said you're watching from Libya. Not that I need to talk about Libya. Oh, my bad. Okay. Don't you miss the show news days? What do you? Oh, you mean slow news days? Yeah. I mean, I would like it if the news was fast, but in a positive direction, and also did not sometimes feature myself as well. I got the Themasius playlist. Thank you, Themasius. Governor Cox makes an announcement like Kirk shooter background is the right. Try to put the blame back on trans people. Covering the misinformation. Covering the misinformation. There was another thing I was going to say. Oh my God, my brain has been fried so much from not being live to like going back directly into it, you know? Free speech champions engage in mass. Free speech champions engage in mass cancel culture campaign over insufficient Kirk grief. Does Elon want me dead? Okay. Anyway. All right. That's it. The FBI is withholding info on the Discord servers he was in. Was he actually? They're trying to ban it legally now? No, I know. And I saw the Israel related thing too that was also crazy. Do we have a blast off meme or what? After Kirk's killing suspect joke that his doppelganger did it? Oh my God. I feel like they're just like, all of this stuff is designed to make people more crazy, it seems like. I don't know. Yeah, Marco Rubio wants to take away American citizens' passports for criticizing Israel, which is crazy. Anyway, do we have a blast off or not? We do. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Grok got censored for telling the truth. That's not surprising. Elon uses both Twitter and also Grok as his like personal propaganda faucet in ways that like other billionaires at least don't attempt to do so publicly. Right? Where it's so transparent, it's so flagrant the way he does this, like it's annoying cuz it like with other billionaires, like at least they have the decency to purchase like the Washington Post. Right? At least they have the decency to purchase the Washington Post, and then like whenever they add in editorial control, they're not so aggressive about said editorial controls. Right? Where like they won't be like so overt with their control over it. Elon would literally be like, I want Grok to be more racist. I want Grok to be more white supremacist. I'm going to do that now. Like he basically will openly say like, no, this is my platform. I bought it for propaganda. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Like I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it in whichever way I want to. I'm going to turn up the Nazi dial. I'm having a bad day today. I want more Nazis to be pumping on the timeline. And then he'll just go, he'll tweak it. And then that's all you see. It is so alarming that we are at the mercy of perhaps one of the most thin-skinned billionaires on the planet. Viral TikTok, you're mentioned.
Guys, people like Dean Withers were crying over Charlie Kirk's death because behind the scenes they were friends. I remember one time on Hassan's stream, he brought up how like Charlie Kirk asked Hassan in person to hang out. Like this shit was a joke to him, and Hassan said no because this shit is real life and he doesn't fuck with Charlie Kirk. Also, guys, you remember that like sex tape between Destiny and Nick Fuentes? Destiny was giving Nick Fuentes head or some shit. Or even like how Destiny and Nick Fuentes be hanging out. All these establishment politics white boys hang out with each other behind scenes, and they hang out with shitty white supremacist shitty people. That's why when stuff like this comes out, everybody's buddy, everybody's crying. It's because they were all homies behind the scenes. But luckily my GOAT Hassan, he ain't play like that. That's my GOAT.
What is that real? What do you mean? Which one? Which part of this? I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if like Dean and Charlie Kirk were friendly or whatever. I don't really know Dean that well, but I wouldn't assume that they were friends. But a lot of the people online, a lot of the people that do like debates in general, no matter how crazy their political differences are, do actually see it as like theater for the most part. Oh, did Nick really give D head? I don't know. He leaned into that initially, so probably not. I genuinely don't know. We don't know if he was sucking off Fuentes or not. But it was weird when it first came out because he like didn't deny it, but then maybe he was doing it because he wanted to like distract people away from the fact that it was all like revenge porn that was being distributed. Who knows? One-on-ones are a normal thing that doesn't make people friends. No, I mean, anyway. Tyler literally commented on how the news